This video was far too tempting to resist. I just have so many ideas and I'm really pumped to share this one. Ever since I started watching Total Drama many years ago, it was clear to me that Chris McLean was a psychopath, and the contestant known as Izzy was some other kind of crazy. I swear she's the funniest character and easily one of my favorite 3 contestants on the show. I may have very recently started a theory regarding Chris, but I just have to share this one of mine, because Izzy's strange behavior is something I can finally explain, in a method shockingly similar to what I did with Patrick Starr, except this time, it's far more explicitly believable. Hello, I'm the Theorizer, and this chick is a 100% lunatic. A head case, a nutcracker, but a smart one. According to one of her Total Drama Island confessionals, she has a confirmed IQ of 188, which is incredibly high.
I would have known, which makes me smarter than they are. Oh, did I mention I have an IQ of 188? Because I do!
And oh, believe me, it's true. Her alter ego Brainzilla can answer literally any tidbit of trivia thrown at her, and she even developed an equation for infinite time travel in her sleep. Izzy displays other alter egos as well, but the question is, are they intentional or a part of her condition? How is she crazy? Does she suffer from multiple personality disorder, or is she just so intellectually psychopathic as to play with the heads of everyone around her? When we first meet her, she bangs her head on the dock. At first I thought this may have triggered her insanity to begin with, but her audition tape and hyperactivity whilst running on the boat imply otherwise. In the first few weeks at camp, she has some crazy outbursts, but in her big first episode, Up the Creek, she brags about being 187th Cherokee, and then she constructs a super explosive fire starter. This is the first time we are made aware of her love for explosives. When Heather questions her about it, she says she learnt it while she was training with the reserves, and she blew up a kitchen, causing the police to make an attempt at hunting her down. When they track her to Camp Wawanakwa, she runs off into the forest laughing psychotically. She returns weeks later as she was invited back by Chris. She talks about how she lived in the forest and befriended a family of beavers, but at the end of the episode, Eva was about to tell everyone where she really was, but Izzy cut her off. It's possible that she revealed this during an interview with Chris, where she claimed to have hopped on a barge in Lake Huron and created a brand of maple syrup. Izzy is great at compulsive lying and uses the tactics of false stupidity to mask her intellect. The rest of the season shows her further skills. She has amazing fighting skills and phenomenal parkour abilities. She constantly endangers everybody, and when she's eliminated a second time, she disappears in a cloud of pink smoke. When she's invited back for season 2, things get incredibly interesting. She begins to call herself Kaleidoscope, or E-Scope for short. In this season, she acknowledges that she's crazy, implying that she's self-aware, indicating that, yes, it is all in fact an act. This season, she has a gunfight with Chef, and he shoots her, exclaiming, "Oh no, not again."
Oh, not again.
Okay then, so he's killed kids before? Anyways, back to the topic at hand. She faked being dead just to play with his emotions, and then it was her time to get eliminated. What happens next is nothing short of absolute genius, and I highly doubt anybody else has picked up on what she's done here. She is about to be eliminated, and when he calls her name, Izzy, she rebels and tells him that her name is E-Scope. He changes what it says on the elimination slip, and then she leaves. Later, we find her tunneling under the ground of the Total Drama filming location, and she returns to the competition. But this whole elimination and return thing is something she intentionally did. People need to realize that she has legitimately planned this whole thing and methodically worked it all out. She cut herself out of the competition so that she could later return and skip a ton of eliminations. She basically saved herself and plotted herself back later in the competition. It's genius. She's genius. 188 after all. This here indicates to me that she's very obviously faking multiple personality disorder. After season 2 ends, she even goes on to become a professional actress, proving how she's very good at pretending to be someone else. She doesn't just fake being crazy either, she's shown to be quite capable of lying in every possible way. Before her second elimination in Total Drama Action, she creates another alter ego known as Explosivo. This persona is her obsession with pyromania and explosions, and it gets her completely eliminated from the competition. Chris makes certain that she cannot return again, except of course until season 3, and here's where something incredibly interesting happens. She keeps faking being crazy of course, but in the episode Jamaica Me Sweat, she reveals her true self. She hops out of the plane, but it crashes on top of her. It hits her head quite hard, and the doctor tells her that a blockage was cleared in her brain. Soon, she wakes up, much different than before. She now goes by the obviously ridiculous name of Brainzilla. Right off the bat, we can tell she's lying once again, from the nickname alone. Brainzilla is a nickname right up there with E-Scope and Explosivo, and she's faking it. This new personality is the one that demonstrates her IQ of 188. I highly doubt that it's her true personality, but this is the one that has an obsession with using big words and bragging about her intelligence. Revealing her true mental capacity causes the government to snatch her while they still can, and they presumably consult her on her knowledge of time travel. Much later, Brainzilla returns in the Aftermath show, where she responds to obscenely difficult pieces of trivia. She then slams her head again and returns to becoming Izzy. Just like that. Except, that isn't quite how neuroscience works. The blockage can't just become reinstated, proving how she faked the whole thing. She appears as a cameo in Total Drama Revenge of the Island, where she kidnaps Chef and dresses as a spider. She again returns in Total Drama All-Stars, where she has to fight Mike in a boxing match. Mike is the character who has multiple personality disorder, and Season 5 centers around it as his evil persona, Mal, takes over and wins the competition. But Izzy does something phenomenally strange as she faces off with him. She stares into Mal's eyes and sees Mike inside of him. Mike screams how he's not in control and that it's Mal. Izzy then responds asking who Mal is. Shocked that she just saw into his head, Mal punches her out. In his confessional immediately after, he explains that she could likely see Mike because the eyes are the window to the soul. So either Izzy truly is a sufferer of MPD and she has this sort of kindred tie to others who suffer, or her genius has reached a supernatural potential. And based off of what we've already seen, the answer is number 2. Something's not right about her. She often speaks in the third person, saying things like, Izzy loves scary movies, or Brainzilla loves to challenge her intellect, but it's all a manipulative farce. Using her immensely high IQ and her incredible abilities to lie, she has managed to trick the contestants, Chris, her family, the RCMP, and the entire government. So what does she suffer from? Well, she's got the same problem as Chris. As a matter of fact, she's a psychopath. A completely sane psychopath, mind you, though one who feels no emotions, but has a hell of a fun time replicating them. She fakes stupidity to get by in the world, and she pretends to be insane, only letting those who are truly smart see that she suffers from multiple personality disorder, which is also being faked to trick the smart ones. It's a layered manipulation, and it is entirely genius. This is why she is my favorite character. Until next time, I'm the Theorizer.
Yeah, genius runs in my family, and psychotherapy. Ooh, I love this commando stuff! I swear I would be so good in the army. No one would see me coming. It would be so fun! I adore sneaking up on people, okay?
It's one of my passions in life. Sometimes I just walk quietly around the room, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, boom! Once I made my grandpa wet his pants. It was awesome.